And we gotta. Adrian's been lacking on the Patreon, and now we're
That's why you're not wrong.
We're held back.
So I guess I'm doing the wine glasses.
You know how many donations we get every month?
They're just we would be getting, and now we're just not. Now somebody's buying like potatoes and like bread instead, and I think it's that could be ours.
We don't want the peasants buying potatoes and bread now, do we?
No, they'll be fine. They've lived on gravel for how many years?
Okay, here we are.
What? How's the beautiful YouTube doing?
Oh God, there's a creepy uncle to everyone, Cody.
How's your daughter doing?
Yeah. Well, I got my first.
Is she filling out nicely?
Several second bleep.
Oh, come on! You're no fun.
The opinions of Cody do not reflect his friends again.
God.
We have to put that at the beginning of every...
Let's make sure to paint over our video with a nice clear coat of vanilla white paint to make sure that there's no personality going throughout the entirety of anything.
Cody's also a little drunk. That's okay. We're gonna have a good time here. Do you want me to explain, Cody, what we're drinking or not?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think we're going blind.
I like it. I like it.
We're going blind.
Ricky would like an explanation.
Well, I think Ricky.
I want an explanation, Cody.
I think you can get
Ricky
one.
Can go
later.
pound sand.
Go kick rocks. Yeah.
Okay, so now we can talk about what they are, later.
Right.
But first, we'll dig into the fun stuff, right? Okay. Hopefully, I can do this with wine glasses. All right. Start left to right, shall we? We'll do one, 2, 3.
Oh, Jesus. That smells very turpentine-y. Like, legit. Very.
Mixed with...
Yeah, for the record, no.
Squash.
I don't... Have you had any of yours? These are all Adrian's.
No, these are all... This is the first time they'll have been...
So
they were opened...
They're all neck pours, though.
Like 24... Yes. They're neck pours.
Neck pours of something that none of us... Me and Rick have no freaking clue.
Rick and Cody don't even know what they are. I know what they are, but I don't know anything about them. Other than that there is one theme unifying them. Which we'll talk about later.
Well...
Is that banana?
I smell rye spices, so...
Yeah, I do. I smell rye, too, actually.
Smell...
This isn't a rye, I'm pretty sure. Whatever it is. So.
I smell that, like, cooling...
Maybe,
what do you call it? Like spearminty, maybe?
I was going to say there might be a little bit of dill. It's like coming on the more I smell it, but...
My face.
The first sip was kind of soapy. Or, not sip, but whiff.
It's, what's so what are the mint flavors? You got, like, spearmint, you got, peppermint, and then what's the other one? Well, but also, that...
There's like a slight candy cane-ness to it, so what kind of mint is that?
It's close. But it's almost like when you taste a food and it's like horseradish. It's like got that kind of like I always call it
that sort of like sinus opening like.
Well, yeah, but
spice.
I always call it like that like wallpaper pasty kind of like spicy but
Christmas
nasal.
Eve in a cool Aspen, Colorado morning.
Yeah.
Not spicy. Wow.
I mean it.
Wow.
It's 100% what the nose gives you. I didn't get anything else. It's just like a mint.
Oh, that's spicy. So you got rye. For me, I'm definitely getting like tree bark. Like, I don't know, like I want to say like birch or something. Something that I would never have any idea what it tastes like. Something dry and woody. but with the spice mixed in, and it's kind of, I'm getting, I don't know, it's a little on the young side, but it's not corn. It's more like.
What is this, Mickey? Let's just say up here.
Oh my god.
Winter frost.
Like,
It's not.
like a winter.
It's not like
Let me see it.
Winter green.
Winter green.
Winter green. Like, I don't even know if that's necessarily what it is, but thank God I thought of it. Anyways, yeah, it's like if you wrapped a very thin tree branch with mint. Like, I like literally what I said. Like, you wrapped like a mint around a tree branch and you suckled upon it.
It's an interesting use of the word suckle.
Mouth feels good. Maybe
I taste rye, but not just rye. I definitely would agree with you. There's some, like, I see why you're saying mint. Like, it's not necessarily like truly a mint flavor, but it's that kind of like the way that mint feels like it's opening your tongue up and it's bringing in air almost, like the way that mint has that effect on your
maybe a little bit of dill, but so a little bit of like winter green, a little bit of wood maybe, but I was reaching for that one. And I'll come back to that one. Let's go to B. That's confusing, but it's confusing in a way that isn't that, to me, doesn't seem that complex. Getting a few notes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Oh, this is 100% different. This is straight bourbon. This smells like Jack Daniels, sort of. Good Jack Daniels. It smells like It smells like
it's a little
like Jack Daniels.
It's a little deeper. It's a little sharper, and it's got.
What's the other one? Not foolproof. Jack Daniels. What's the other one? It's like not like full on. I can tell it's not like.
I'm having a hard time picking up anything from that one.
It's the COVID.
Since
Probably.
get like a little bit of honey, a little bit of maple, a little bit of banana, a little bit of like ginger / bread, or what I would equate to
caramel, a little bit of ginger.
What I always equate to graham cracker or gingerbread, some kind of amalgamation between the two, betwixt.
A little bit of hot cinnamon.
A little bit. Yeah. And I know we noticed a lot of different notes.
This one's much better smelling than the first one.
I noticed we noticed a lot of notes on it, but I wouldn't say necessarily that like, oh man, there's like 12 different things. Oh man, it's like super complex. Not necessarily like real complex. You get like 3 or 4, but they're pretty distinguished and.
Okay, sip time.
Mouthfeel on the first one was definitely better. It's a little thin, but that's kind of separate from the mouthfeel. I don't think, from my first taste, that it was like a super good mouthfeel.
I just got up and stepped away for a second and came back, and now I smell like fresh baked bread when I smell it, which is not something I smelled any of the previous times.
Nose is really good. I wouldn't say it was like super complex, but I really liked the things I was bringing forward. But when I tasted it, it was kind of like where in our previous video where you said like what I thought was early times, whatever, doesn't matter. Where like it all kind of hits you at once. It's really good, but the other one was like it kind of layers and like I don't really get that with this one. It's all kind of just right there, but it's not bad at all. It's a little cola-y to me, like a honey cola, sort of.
Interesting. I'm feeling the honey cola. I have to keep digging on it for that, but
yeah, it's definitely like I'm drinking like a.
It's sweeter than the first, and in general, honey to me is like kind of going the right direction, and then it's less like I don't know woody, and it's less spicy than the first one to me. But these opinions could change when we go through. They're totally different
animals to me. They're like this one. B is like a Jack Daniel's single barrel or something, like maybe you paid like $40 for it, and it's like, or 45 or maybe 50, and you're like, well, it's probably more worth 35, but it's pretty good. And then this one is like a straight up like a rye. This is like Pikesville or something.
I actually get, now that you bring up coal, I get a little bit of root beer actually.
Right, like a root beer, like so I was trying to think of like not an anise flavor, but like a like a, I don't know, just that cola taste.
You're like
nothing.
What do you got?
You're like
What you got for us,
fresh
baby?
baked bread and root beer and honey. It's like, yeah, man.
Well, tell us what you get.
That's definitely what it smells like.
Oh, come on, Ricky.
Ricky, I know exactly what you're going through right now. I've been there with beer and other things in life. Still going through it with bourbon.
We're making it up as we go, Ricky. Make it up as you go.
Do you take tell me that do these seem different to you though?
Yeah.
1 and 2? What would you like if you could describe it at all? How would you do? What would you say?
Yeah. Well, with the first one, I was picking up on your like mintiness of the first one.
Okay.
The second one, I just like, I don't know. It just seems like a typical. To me, it just seems like a typical like bourbon that doesn't have much of anything extra.
Okay.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
To it.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
All right. Well, let's start the aroma test on 3.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like a little more floral, and it seems kind of deeper. I really like this.
Very pronounced forward smell to it, but I can't distinguish what that is. I just haven't had enough experience to say like, oh, yeah, that reminds me of
This
this.
is like floral. I'm telling, like this is like it's like wheatgrass and beehives. It makes me think of being like outdoor in like late spring, and then add into that like a little bit of honey and caramel at the end. Maybe even a little toffee. What?
So, God damn it.
Apparently I'm the only one who thinks anything of this one.
No,
I'm just very perplexed.
It's definitely different than the other two.
That one like really
You know
fills
what?
my nose, and then like I need to clear it out.
It's like a raisiny. Yeah, I got plum or raisin. So here's where I'm at with this one on notes, smell wise.
These get beets.
This, yeah, like beet, raisin, plum, very dark fruits that roll up the side of the glass.
Raisin bread, maybe cinnamon raisin bread.
I don't get really bread as much, but
it's like kind of a pastry, not pastry, like confectionery. It's like not just raisins, but it's like almost sugar.
I don't really get that as much. I just get the straight like goddamn like fermented raisins. But yeah, I mean, so I get, I don't know about.
Rick says you said plum.
Yeah, like plum, raisin, like whatever's darker than that.
Like prune or dates.
Yeah, like prune dates. Yeah, just like rolling up the glass, but they're like they're like fermented. They're fermented. They're not just like you had raisins. You might.
Yeah.
I really like this
It's like they've been sitting around for a while, and they got a little alcohol-y. I can start to see that, like, oh, what is that? Like raisin bread, not raisin bread, but like that, like, what is it? Like figgy pudding or something? Was that like it's got like this one? So this one is the most interesting, I think. The most probably the most complex, but the most perplexing, I would say. But
let's sip 3 and
let's everyone keep in mind. There you are.
Yeah.
Let's not be jokers about this. Listen, we're amateurs,
very much so.
But at the same
that wasn't
time,
painfully obvious.
well, but at the same time, folks, it's okay to be wrong, Adrian.
Thank you, Cody.
Okay,
That's what I need to hear.
You
All
know
right, let's
what?
go.
I don't even think I tasted it yet.
Well, we definitely have. Let's go.
Hits you right away with the ABV, right on the tip of your tongue.
That one, okay, so I was playing with it a bit on my tongue, and it kind of shifted.
Okay.
It kind of shifted gears. Like, it was kind of like first gear, second gear, third gear, and then it's still lingering right now.
It's a weird... This is more than anything I think I've ever had. The finish is, like, extremely dark. It's like you burnt raisins. I've got, like tar kind of on the bottom of my palate.
The finish is, it's kind of like...
Not unpleasant.
Like, you just ate something and you got a little bit still stuck in your teeth, and it's like, oh, there's still a little bit of that.
But it's like burnt, though.
No, it's like...
Very burnt. But not in a bad way. It's not like, oh, man.
I'm not gonna go burnt. I'm gonna say, but I'll go with cooked.
Yep. Yeah.
Because to me, like, burnt to me says more char, and I'm not getting, like, crazy levels of char here, but,
That was like, to me, that was like, I just, like, put a bunch of raisins in my mouth. There's other stuff in there that come after the raisiny flavor. I'm not...
Like, the first bit of it, I get, like, multiple flavors, and I'm not sure which ones they are, but then, like...
It's definitely the most complex, I think.
I agree with you.
I mean, it seems like you have more to say about this one than the previous two.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like the initial taste, there's multiple flavors, and then... Not like burnt, like, not like, but, like... They've been cooking a little while. They're not just like raisins. It's like a little tarry.
It's
kind of
great raisin paste condensate, like condensed raisin concentrate.
That's the thing that laughs with me is that raisin kind of burnt taste.
Yeah.
That like takes over halfway through, but the first part of it, it's more like a one. It's got that minty kind of like fresh, sort of like wintergreeny kind of taste.
You could be right. But you're losing me on that. Like I don't know.
And it kind of transitions into the raisin.
Like long after I've sipped, like still flavors in my mouth.
There's also, I would say, some banana here. And
now I'm kind of getting a cinnamon bread kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one, like, the smell seems more unique to me now.
I'm still getting dill on the first one.
Dill on the mint kind of. But I really get that, like, on the taste of the third one. Just, like, the initial, like, little onslaught of flavors. But then
first one to me is almost
quickly.
Now worse after having the third one.
Yeah, it definitely is because, for me,
whatever the first one is, I'm going to be upset about this one because one of those should not be as bad as I feel like this one. Like we've had 6 tonight, and to me,
weird.
This first one is probably the worst of the 6 we've had tonight.
It's now that it's weird to me. It's like a weird combination of flavors. Like I get the dilliness of it first, and then it's like peppermint and dill and tree bark.
Yeah,
tree bark.
Weird.
Well, I mean, I'm
not sure that I would ever mix those flavors together.
I should clarify. It's not. I'm being hard on it. It's not a bad. Like I would still drink this. Like and it's kind of like
one feels like a goddamn rye, like a decent rye, and 2 feels like a Jack Daniel's single barrel, where it's like you're a little disappointed. But
I can tell you this: that none of these should be ryes. But yes, I'm with you that one to me screams of rye. But I don't know what the mash bills are in any of these.
2 is like
I will say like what. For a second, I just tasted some cilantro in number 1. And I don't know if I'm crazy on that, but I'm getting all sorts of like herbs.
Well, we're going to take a break and we're going to go back through the other way. Wouldn't you know it? God.
I kind of already started on that.
Take a palate cleanser and we'll sit and talk about
don't worry about it, though.
World events for 5 minutes.
This is only our second tasting of like 7 more we got to go. Don't worry about it.
Saltiness or something.
Really? I'll have to look for that next time.
I'm not like.
Do you have even a guess as to what any of these are? I don't know if I dropped hints at some point.
I really don't. Besides the one that I keep calling Jack Daniel's Single Barrel.
Okay.
And it's like half the fun, really, kind of. Because there's one person playing it.
Look, I'm gonna train Ricky
Cody,
on staging by the most like passive aggressive way possible. Roll up your sleeves.
All right, we're back. We're back.
We're back,
and
baby.
I cannot
better than ever.
And I cannot run.
Cannot run.
And I'm bouncing, trouncing.
I remember one weekend where you had us watch that video no fewer than 7 times.
Yes.
Should have made it 8.
The early days of internet meme videos.
It's so good. Hey guys, I heard there's this new video on YouTube when we get off of this.
You put a pug in any video, and Cody's already at least halfway in love. You put a pug from Milo Notice in there, running over a little puppy. Or a dog, a pug whose like tongue or leg doesn't work right. It's good stuff. But it's happy.
Well, you'd be like, "Hey, Cody, we got this video about this guy from Eastern Germany." I'm like, like we got a pug, and I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah, it's got a pug.
What's it about? What's it about?
It's a pug and a Dogue de Bordeaux.
It's a pug, but he can't run real well. Why can't he run real well?
Rick's already started, which is why.
It's a little more alcohol-y scented than I had recalled.
3 is by far the best one in my opinion.
Ricky, spoiled the video.
I guess.
I just actually got a little bit of brownie on that whiff.
You guys see the new Odd Todd video, or is that just me? Or...
Wow, that's a blast from the past.
Wow.
Oh
He's
my
still alive,
gosh.
kicking it. I was like, I ran him. I was like, hey, I remember that guy. I wonder if his website still exists, and it does.
It's an alcohol-y raisin plum.
Yeah, like second smell is like almost the same as the first, but it's even more confectionery and sweet, and it's like sugar plums, maybe brownies, like definitely cinnamon rolls or bread, and
see here. This is the
with fig and.
Where's your phone, Adrian?
It's recording the video.
Ricky, where's your phone?
Charger.
Bentley, where's your phone?
Bourbon number 1 is like the outdoors portion of wintertime with the pine trees.
Yeah.
Bourbon, number 3 is the indoors cooking.
These are like
holiday pastries.
They're very complimentary.
The holidays.
And not at all like.
You get your nose in there, you're gonna get a little bit of some
decadent, and it's almost like too sweet.
Man, I don't know.
I don't have that problem. It's just
I do like tame this.
Very like it's just figgy pudding, dude. I haven't had it, but that's what it fucking is.
It's just figgy pudding.
It just fucking is, man.
Hashtag figgy
about it even.
Man.
Hey guys,
I could get drunk off number 3 real quick.
Not in like a.
It's like complex, but in one corner of the kitchen. Like it's not complex. Like you go from like leather to sweet to. It's more like you're still in the sweets the whole time, but it's like wet part of the sweet.
Well, I got like a raisin and like plum, and then like a little bit of bread, but like what? Like it's. But
it goes from like a sort of sweet bread up to like figgy and pudding and like raisins. Up to something maybe like sugar plums, and it's like it's not a huge range, but like you taste all that along the way.
Cody, I'm gonna need you to take this more seriously.
Oh, I think he's taking it seriously, but he's off the deep end, as it were. Also drunk.
It's not yet.
What time is it? 5 a.m.
Don't worry about it.
Cooking chicken nuggets and forgetting.
It is 5 a.m.
Chicken nuggets.
Really?
That clock is an hour behind.
It's 4. That's 4.
But that clock's an hour behind. based on when we ordered food.
No, it's 4 o'clock.
No, because
When we ordered food, it was an hour behind.
no, because like the 5 and the 6 are like
It's
messed up.
the one of the like digits,
Wow,
one of the
what a-
lines doesn't work right. Keep up, baby.
Okay,
Hey,
no tit grabbing.
All right. So
I swear to God, if you just say it tastes like figgy pudding again.
on initial taste, it's like figgy pudding.
It's like you take figs and put it in pudding.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. See.
That's sarcastic. How
So. No, so like I don't even think like the so the mouthfeel is like pretty good, but it isn't even like it's not like crazy great. It's pretty good, but like you said, it's like
throw this across the room.
no, that didn't work.
Gee.
ooh,
Like it's not an unusual flavor for bourbon, but this one does
punches
that
flavor,
note
like,
so hard, and it's like
Yeah.
it makes itself kind of unique.
the flavors that it does have, it goes all the in. on.
Yes. Okay, let's.
It's pretty good.
I'm gonna go back to smelling 2.
A little different now. So it's definitely still honey.
Yeah, honey and caramel.
Yeah,
Like a
your typical. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is like
Yeah, this one doesn't like.
2 just does nothing for me.
Doesn't like. Yeah, it's not like it's bad. It's
So,
just
yeah,
it doesn't make a memorable.
You got like a
statement.
little slight bit of pepper at the end of it, but
I'll go with, like
just
like whole,
just a
like
little.
peppercorn, but
yeah.
not.
Thank you. Whole peppercorns.
Let me taste it.
I arranged them from lightest to darkest, and 2 to me is not only like in between them in terms of like the pale color, it's also like a good marriage between the flavors.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the on the nose is very much like more like typical bourbon, like honey, graham cracker. Yeah.
But just a little. Not
Speaking
crazy.
of graham cracker, can we take a moment to
Talk about our sponsors at Nabisco.
Teddy Grahams.
Teddy Graham.
Chocolate.
If Teddy
You got
Graham will
chocolate.
sponsor us.
Chocolate, cinnamon, and the regular blue.
It's like
It's
honey
close.
by itself, and then there's
It's
also a little bit of like
Similar.
It's a little bit of like there's the more I'm drinking this and cleaning my palate, I'm getting a little bit of a leathery tobacco thing on the back end. But it's this beer is like this is kind of like your average bourbon.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, what is going
I'm sorry?
on here?
Question mark.
All right, back to
one.
I'm very confused now. There's still that wallpaper paste
This whole
smell.
video is just like, let's do 1, 2, 3,
This
3,
has been
2,
fun.
1, 1,
This
2, 3.
That's
This
probably
has
our
been
best
fun.
video.
This has been fun because it's the most blind we've ever been, and I think like we're all, dealing with that challenge.
So you're
of,
saying
like,
Cody
not-
can't cheat this time, right?
Cody
That's-
didn't get to look it up before.
yeah.
And
I'm down for that. Because
okay,
that would give it away.
one has mellowed quite a bit for me.
But I mean, it's still a wintergreen and like that.
It's not nearly that may be the case, but it's not nearly as odd and like pariah-like as it was originally. Still a little bit of dill, but it's not as woodsy and not like as tree barky.
Right.
It's
But
like
it's
here's what it is.
not
To me.
sweet either.
It's like God damn it! I don't know if these things exist. I'm trying to think.
There you go.
All right.
This is like if you took like a piece of tree, like not any particular tree, like some
Potpourri.
wintergreen essence or some peppermint
Potpourri,
essence or
that's a good
whatever the essence is, and you just dropped it straight on that son of a bitch. But like a lot of it, like you had like a you had like this much of the essence, which is like super strong, and you just went.
You put
But you waited for it to rain, and it rained on it, and then you came back and you're
Cody,
like,
you got some catching up to
Ooh.
do, sir.
oh, it's like
Rick's out drinking Cody. Yeah, a little bit of that. I gotta throw in that dill again. I'm still tasting it.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say this is doing much better on the second round for me than it was the
very
first
sweet.
one. It's not not to me like a high end. How you doing on energy, Rick?
I'm good.
What's that?
Thin Mint cookies.
Yeah, baby.
The real palate cleansers.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yo, pepper off the
Well, now that
second one.
we're contaminating our tongues, do we want to
No.
get our ratings over with? I don't know how you can taste bourbon after having a Thin Mint.
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
I'm good. Oh.
Okay. I mean, as far as why don't you start us? Okay, well, Cody's dying or something. I'm gonna say that for me, it's
I'm making one, not one right there.
all right, Cody. You go first. Why don't you go first?
All right. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
All right. Oh, it's delicious though.
Ric Flair up in here.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how you guys feel about it.
What's happening?
My stage has got all sorts of stuff going on over here.
Somewhere near there's my crap's like almost off screen.
So,
Oh my goodness.
So, I think we'll probably be in agreement, but I think Glass 3 was my favorite.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I compare them like one really felt like a rye. I'm not quite as big on rye. I like them, and as such, I like that glass. I like all these glasses. Glass 2 felt like a typical bourbon that I would pay like 35, $40 for. Like, you know, pretty good. Pretty dang good. Glass 3 felt like, you know, I paid a little pinch more than that, and it felt more like a bourbon. It felt like a little, you know, raisiny, more dark notes in it. Felt a little more complex, so I like that more than Glass 2. And Glass 1, I felt like if I liked ryes, I'd have a real conversation versus Glass 2. Although I will say Glass 1, I feel like Glass 1 had the best mouthfeel, actually.
Okay, Rick.
Wow. I'll say my favorite was 3, and then followed by 1, and then my least favorite was 2.
Okay.
2
Cool.
was just like typical to me. It was just like nothing going on. 2 was like,
Damn.
had the dillness and the peppermint.
Yeah, you guys, that is exactly the split I didn't want because I cannot decide between 1 and 2.
And 3 was just like a joy to drink.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
And
I think it's safe to say we're all fans of 3.
I still am, like, I'm not like 100% fan of any of them.
Really?
Well, because they're mine.
I would.
No, like I like all of them.
I would
quite a bit, but I'm not like.
I would put 3 up with the best of the good ones that I've had of yours.
Not me, not at all. But
sorry.
No, I mean I'm not ranking from that.
What Rick said is, I would just take what Rick said and put it in a plaque, and that's exactly what I would say. In that, 3 to me is by far the best. I think 2 is probably a better bourbon, but like 1 is more memorable because it's different, and 1 is the one that sticks out from this group the most. And is that like obviously that could mean, well, if something's bad, it could stick out from 2 things that are good, and that doesn't mean it's a good. But like, boy, I'm really struggling. Like, part of me wants to say 1. I'm gonna go.
You just say whatever you like better.
I'm gonna go. Like, if I had to sit there and drink it, if I had to drink a gallon of this, 2 tastes better, so I'm gonna go with 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I get what Rick is saying completely, and I'm very tempted to vote that way. But I'll go 3, 2, 1. So, let's see what those are.
That's the second.
Law's Whiskey House.
B was Laws, really. AD Laws. So, Cody, the theme here today was craft bourbons. And these are all similar in price.
What are they, like 50?
They were about, I think they were all about 50.
50.
One of them I think was 55. One of them might have been 40, high 40s. I don't remember, but so that was AD Laws, and that surprises me because that gets a lot of good reviews. What was C?
Wilderness Trail.
Wilderness
Trail, yeah.
Okay, and then A.
What was that?
Was Balcone.
Balcones. I'm pretty sure Balcones was Texas single malt. So they have pot still and they have single malt. I am pretty sure this one is in fact the most expensive.
So hold on. So
I want to say that's like 55. Yeah. Okay, so that's this one. This one is the winner today. This one would appear to be by consensus the loser, although Rick gave it number 2. This one got number 2 by consensus. Wilderness Trail.
So that's the one from my experience that has the most renown out of any of those.
Wilderness Trail is definitely renowned, and it's Wilderness Trail, bottled and bond, by the way. Which is like the one that, like, if you're gonna get Wilderness Trail, you want to get that one.
Which is
AD Law. I'm really surprised the AD Laws like it's the most unique of the 3, but like to me it tastes the cheapest. It tastes like, but it's these are all young distilleries. So
pretty
it's
good mouthfeel, but
yeah, it's I'm with Rick in that, like, I could see why that would maybe be number 2, but for me it was.
So reading the back,
last.
I thought you and I thought there was like dill, but it's not.
Well, it's not going to be an ingredient or anything. It just gives you the grains that are used.
Orange blossom and peel, black tea, honey, cinnamon, and vanilla custard, with a finish of sweet tobacco, baking spice.
And the Balcones was single malt for the record. And the Balcones was single malt for the record.
And the Balcones was single malt for the record.
Oh,
it's fine.
I even got some on your pants.
I got some on my.
Got some white cream on your pants, Adrian.
It's like all on my pants now.
That wasn't so bad.
I'm definitely. I'm surprised how much Balcones was, to me, superior than the other 2.
See, if Cody had the chance to read these labels, this is exactly what he would have said he detected.
So I wanted to get something that was like, okay, these are newer. These are going to be a lot more raw. These are going to be younger. They're going to be harder to neatly classify into traditional categories, and so it'd be kind of a fun experiment.
Overripe fruits. Okay, so that's the. We're talking about the raisins and all that.
I'm still tasting it. Like I said, I think that one was like the most unique to a point where
baked pears.
It provided something that was unique,
Yeah.
At least
nice.
The other 2.
I think to me, Balcones was worth that. I would say 80 Laws and Wilderness Trail were probably overpriced, but because I've had better. I mean, we've had 20 bourbons here, and I would say that those were not in the top 10 probably.
Mm-mm.
So like 50's too much, but for me, Balcones was in the top 10. But it's also single malt.
It's rough for these craft distilleries to come in, and you've got these huge behemoths, Elijah Craig, and your Heaven Hill, and your
Buffalo Trace,
Brown Foreman, your Buffalo Trace, and everything that just, I mean.
What are you trying to do? Do you want a thin one?
Cookie?
Is that what you want?
I missed.
You missed by a good half foot. Here you
go.
Here you go.
But there was the glass. I mean, it was okay. It was fine.
The point was just to do something a little different, a different theme, and I think it was fun. So, especially as we get into the 4:30 a.m. waning hours of the morning, and we're all drunk. So
it was man.
I'm not drunk. I'm invincible.
That first, the first one though was like really the thing that like just. Who are you?
That one made a lot of the top lists for 2020, and I'm surprised at what. To me, I was expecting more. Again, it's not bad. It's just like, you know, it's the sort. It's not hard. It's not easy to find, at least for me. None of these were easy to find. Well, I think Wilderness Trail is probably the easiest to find of the three, but I don't know. They were all kind of hard. But I was hoping for a little bit more for that one. But Texas Balcones, I was pretty satisfied with. So one exactly in the middle, one hit, one miss.
What's it called? The Balcones? What
single pot, single malt. Single malt with just single malt whiskey.
I know they like
they have single pot, which is a lot cheaper. That's
Balcones,
like $30.
Like baby blue, I think. That one's like really like well respected. I think that's what it is.
Red is single pot and black is the single malt.
I don't know. I think there's a baby blue.
Pot still rather.
I want to say there's a baby blue.
That could be true,
but I don't remember.
All right.
Got some cookie in my throat.
All right. Well, I guess that ends this one.
Adrian was wrong.
So when are we going to get into
that.
like the $200 bottles? You know?
Someday, Ricky. Someday.
You know, like they're kind of on equal playing field. But rather than like the minty, fresh kind of like dill kind of deal that we're doing